Alrighty, I saw this video on X. This guy, Tyrell, is interviewing this woman who is really left-leaning. Well, I'll pop in the video and take it from there.
Are white people being replaced in the UK?
So what? So what?
So, yeah, there's something off-putting about this woman that I can't quite put my finger on. How do I say this? I used to watch Family Guy when I was a kid, and, well, if she was a Family Guy character... So, yeah, I know stereotyping's bad and all, but given recent events, stereotyping seems to be more and more accurate than anything else, which is kind of sad.
Wait, so what? Nobody's white.
Right.
Who's white?
Right.
Nobody's white. I'm white. White or Caucasian, it's a race. It's part of the human species. If you think of the human species as a tree, the white race or Caucasian race is a branch, with many smaller branches called ethnic groups like Slavs, Celts, Germanic people. All of these groups are under threat of geno because of immigration. Now for context, let's look up the terms of geno. What is genocide? The legal term genocide refers to certain acts committed with the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. Genocide is an international crime according to the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, 1948. The act that constitutes genocide falls into 5 categories. Yeeting members of the group. Yes, Native Europeans are getting yeeted. Causing serious bodily harm or mental harm to members of the group. Yeah, because again, they're being yeeted. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction, in whole or in part. Well, Native Europeans are getting taxed a lot. That would prevent them from having children or buying a suitable home. Also, I've heard in the UK that a lot of homes go to foreigners instead of natives. I did a video on that a while ago. And immigration, by its very nature, is harming the native population. Why? That native population is slowly getting replaced, slowly being minimized. And as it says in the terms, in whole or in part. In part, minimize, they mean the same thing. Imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group. Well, what if that group can't afford to have births because it costs too much? Does that count? Forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. That one, I can't really figure out. I have heard of grooming gangs in Rotham. I think I said that right. So would that count as transferring children? Because if I'm not mistaken, grooming gangs, they target children, right?
Everybody's got a grandparent or a great-great-grandparent or a great-great-great-great-great-grandparent that came from somewhere else.
Came from somewhere else. Not if their grandparents times whatever amount are Native European, because guess what? Britain's part of Europe. Moreover, Anglo-Saxons are Germanic. So, you could say that Germanic people are native to England. People on the left will say, oh, well, the Anglo-Saxons took it from the Celtic Britons. Yeah, that's how the world worked back then. We live in the 21st century, not back then. I was always told that the 21st century is an enlightened age. I guess not, huh?
So if we want to insist that only white people can come here, who are they? Like, have we gone too far by the time you get to Russia?
Only white people can come here. Damn. Sounded like there was a lot of hate in her voice.
Like, do we want Russian?
Do we want Russians? Well, in England, Anglo-Saxons are ethnic Germanic, so Russians are Slavic. The answer would be no, because again, you'd have the same result of the ethnic Germanic Anglo-Saxon being genoed by the influx of Slavic people.
Just because you're born in a country, should you be destined to live your life out in, I don't know, poverty or injustice?
Just because you're born in a country, should you be destined to live out your life in poverty and injustice? Here's a thought. Rather than leaving the country, why not stay and fix the poverty and fix the injustice? Because you know what happens if you leave? That country will never get fixed. And then you'll just have more and more people leaving that country because of the poverty and injustice that'll never get fixed. And in fact, will probably get worse because everybody's leaving to stream into Europe. And as a result, the native European race and ethnic groups will get genoed.
Like, I don't believe that you should be denied opportunity because of the country you were born in. I think immigration is vital because without it you become a enclosed, closed-minded, shut down, culturally poor environment.
Closed-minded, culturally poor environment. The Europeans developed architecture, art, music, technology with no immigration. Culturally poor. Europe has dozens of diverse cultures. Each one is rich. Another thing with culture, music. Folk music, Celtic folk music, Norse folk music, Anglo-Saxon folk music. Another form of music, classical opera music. That was based in Europe, wasn't it?
The damage done during imperial empire colonialism could and should have a tranche of immigrants who, if they want to come here, hell yeah, they should come here.
So what you're telling me, things that happened hundreds of years ago are to be visited on people who had nothing to do with it? Yeah, that's a good way to fuel hatred, because you're blaming people for something they had nothing to do with. Oh, and second, the Europeans kinda copied the Ottoman Empire, and what do I mean by that? Why did the Europeans sail west to go to North America? The answer? They didn't. They didn't want to do business with the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire brutally conquered the Byzantine Empire, so the Europeans didn't want to do business with them, but they wanted all the spices from Asia and India, so they went west. Why were Indians called Indians? Because the Europeans thought they were Indians, so they called them Indians. So all the colonialism, all the transatlantic slave stuff would have never have happened if the Ottoman Empire didn't brutally conquer the Byzantine Empire. So in a what-if scenario, what if the Ottoman Empire didn't conquer the Byzantine Empire? The Europeans would have just kept trading with the Byzantine Empire. The whole colonization would have never have happened. Slave trade, transatlantic, nope, would have never have happened. I mean, the Aztec Empire probably would have went north to expand, so the Indians would have had a problem there, but that wouldn't have been Europe's fault. Now, as for all the other colonizations and conquerings, I don't think they would have happened. Why? Spain and Portugal, they made a lot of their wealth from the New World. Gold. England, Britain, they made a lot of their wealth from, well, pirating Spanish treasure ships, but yeah, from the New World. France, again, from the New World. Quebec, back in the day, their primary export was furs. Exotic furs worth a lot of money. So wrapping this video up, a lot of this stuff that lefties talk about, like this woman in particular, would never have happened if the Ottoman Empire didn't conquer the Byzantine Empire, because the Europeans wouldn't have sailed west. The whole transatlantic slave trade would have never have happened. Well, anyway, that's it for my thoughts on this matter. Take care out there in Clown World.